Stalking, harassment. These words carry a weight, a chilling echo of fear and vulnerability. We often associate these terms with shadowy figures lurking in the night, but the reality is far more insidious, often starting in the mundane, the seemingly harmless. Stalking is a hidden epidemic, weaving its way into the lives of millions, leaving emotional scars that run deep. Victims of stalking and harassment often suffer in silence, burdened by shame, fear, or a belief that their experiences are not serious enough to warrant help. This silence only empowers the perpetrators, allowing their behavior to escalate unchecked. It's crucial to understand that stalking is a pattern of repeated and unwanted attention, harassment, or other behaviors that would cause a reasonable person to feel afraid. It can take many forms, from unwanted phone calls and messages to physical following and threats of violence. The purpose of this essay is to shed light on this dark corner of human behavior, to give voice to the victims, and to empower individuals with the knowledge and resources to protect themselves. Imagine the excitement of a first date, the anticipation of meeting someone new. This is where the story of Hunter begins. Our narrator, a young woman navigating the world of online dating, met Hunter through an app. What started as a typical first date quickly took a turn. Hunter's behavior, while not overtly threatening, raised red flags. Excessive drinking, unwanted touching, and an insistence on going home with the narrator after only a few dates were early warning signs. These actions, though seemingly minor, revealed a disregard for boundaries and consent. When the narrator politely declined further dates, Hunter's behavior escalated. He began bombarding her with text messages, often late at night, pleading for another chance. He showed up at her work unannounced, bearing unwanted gifts. He even left flowers on her doorstep, despite being told repeatedly to stop contacting her. Hunter's actions, though seemingly harmless to some, created an atmosphere of fear and intimidation for the narrator. His inability to accept rejection, coupled with his persistent attempts to control the situation, are classic hallmarks of stalking behavior. The violation of one's home is a primal fear, the shattering of the sanctuary we hold dear. For our narrator, this nightmare became a terrifying reality shortly after ending contact with Hunter. Late one night, she was awakened by strange noises outside her bedroom window. Fear coiled in her stomach as she realized someone was attempting to break in. She hid, her heart pounding in her chest, as the intruder moved through her home, seemingly searching for something. The police were called, but the perpetrator had vanished. While there was evidence of forced entry, the lack of a suspect made it difficult to pursue legal action. The narrator was left to grapple with the emotional fallout of the invasion, her sense of safety shattered. This incident highlights a chilling reality of stalking. It often escalates from online harassment and unwanted contact to physical intrusion and threats. The violation of one's home is a significant escalation, demonstrating the stalker's willingness to cross boundaries and disregard the law. Stalking and harassment are not limited to the adult world. Even within schools, these behaviors can emerge with devastating consequences. Our narrator recounts a chilling story from her childhood involving a classmate named Maya. What began as a harmless crush quickly turned sinister. Maya fixated on the narrator, showering her with unwanted attention. She left notes on her desk, followed her around the playground, and took photos without permission. When the narrator tried to distance herself, Maya's behavior escalated. She spread rumors and isolated her from friends. The narrator reported the incidents to school officials, but no significant action was taken. Maya's behavior escalated further, culminating in her throwing rocks at the narrator's window. Schools must create a safe environment and take reports of stalking seriously. Course Section 5. Toxic Love, Emily's Descent into Violence. Romantic relationships can become breeding grounds for stalking and harassment. Emily's story is a chilling reminder that love can turn toxic and dangerous. Our narrator met Emily through mutual friends, and their initial interactions were promising. But soon, Emily became possessive and controlling. She demanded to know her partner's whereabouts at all times, bombarding them with texts, accusing them of infidelity. Emily's behavior became more erratic and controlling. She lashed out in anger over perceived slights. Fearing for their safety, the narrator ended the relationship. This triggered a terrifying escalation in Emily's behavior. Enraged, Emily broke into the narrator's home and attacked them. The narrator escaped and called the police, who arrested Emily. Emily's case highlights the extreme danger of stalking in domestic violence. Her inability to cope with rejection led to violence. Section 6, the invisible struggle, the psychological scars of stalking. The scars of stalking and harassment run deep, often invisible to the naked eye. While physical violence leaves visible marks, the emotional and psychological toll can be far more debilitating, haunting victims long after the physical danger has passed. Victims of stalking often describe feeling like they are living in a constant state of fear and hypervigilance. They may experience panic attacks, nightmares, and difficulty concentrating. The constant threat of being watched, followed, or harassed can make it difficult to feel safe in any environment, even their own homes. The emotional toll of stalking can be equally devastating. Victims often experience feelings of shame, guilt, and self-blame. They may question their own judgment or wonder if they could have done something to prevent the stalking. These feelings of self-doubt can be incredibly isolating, making it difficult to reach out for help. The long-term effects of stalking can be significant, impacting victims' relationships, careers, and overall quality of life. It is essential to remember that healing from stalking takes time and support. There is no shame in seeking professional help to process the trauma and develop coping mechanisms. Section 7, Walls of Silence, the challenge of seeking help. One of the most disheartening aspects of stalking and harassment is the uphill battle victims often face when seeking help. The very nature of stalking, with its insidious escalation and often subtle forms of abuse, can make it difficult to convince others of the severity of the situation. Victims often encounter skepticism from law enforcement, who may dismiss their experiences as misunderstandings or overreactions. This lack of validation can be incredibly invalidating, leaving victims feeling unheard and unprotected. Even when victims do find support from law enforcement, the legal system can be a complex and frustrating maze to navigate. Stalking laws vary widely from state to state, and obtaining restraining orders can be a lengthy and challenging process. The lack of understanding and support from authorities can leave victims feeling isolated and helpless. It is crucial to remember that you are not alone. There are resources available to help you navigate these challenges, including victim advocacy groups, legal aid organizations, and mental health professionals. Section 8, Breaking Free, Empowering Yourself with Knowledge and Action. While the stories shared in this essay paint a stark picture of the realities of stalking and harassment, it is important to remember that there is hope. Knowledge is power, and by understanding the dynamics of stalking and taking proactive steps to protect yourself, you can regain control of your life. One of the most important things you can do is to trust your instincts. If someone's behavior makes you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, it is crucial to set boundaries and remove yourself from the situation. Do not be afraid to say no or to end a relationship or friendship if you feel threatened. Document everything. Keep a detailed record of all incidents of stalking or harassment, including dates, times, locations, witnesses, and any evidence you may have, such as text messages, emails, or social media posts. This documentation will be invaluable if you need to involve law enforcement or seek a restraining order. Reach out for help. Do not suffer in silence. Talk to trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. There are also numerous hotlines and online resources available to provide support and guidance. Stalking is a crime, and you deserve to feel safe and supported. Section 9, Conclusion. A call for awareness and support. Stalking and harassment are pervasive issues that affect millions of people across the globe. These crimes thrive in silence, fueled by a lack of awareness, understanding, and support. It is time to break the silence and shine a light on this dark corner of human behavior. By sharing our stories, raising awareness, and advocating for stronger laws and resources, we can create a world where victims feel empowered to come forward, where perpetrators are held accountable for their actions, and where everyone has the right to live free from fear. If you or someone you know is experiencing stalking or harassment, please know that you are not alone. There is help available, and you deserve to feel safe and supported. Remember, your safety is paramount. Trust your instincts, take action to protect yourself, and never hesitate to reach out for help. Together, we can break the cycle of stalking and create a safer world for all.